To celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers, I thought it could be fun to ask my Instagram followers for some questions, and today we're going to answer. It is particularly bright. I'm going to put my sunglasses on, and I've got the questions here saved in the notes app. But number one, Robert has asked, can you tell us something we might not know about you? For those that have never seen me before, I'm Matt, I'm 23 years old from just outside London in the United Kingdom. And something that I haven't necessarily told you before is I used to be a national champion high diver. In 2012 and 2014, I won multiple gold medals at the National Championships, the Age Group Diving Championships, a diving competition in the UK. In 2012 it was Southampton, and 2014 in Pondsforge International Sports Centre in Sheffield. Diving was fun and I was pretty good at it, but in 2015 I threw the towel in. It was costing so much money, I was getting pretty injured, and to be honest with you, I wasn't good enough. It is a great party trick to have if there's ever a chance to go diving, whether off a boat or a diving platform at a hostel. I'm the first one up there. Now, I'm not going to be that creator that makes you wait till the end of the video having seen the title and the thumbnail, so I'm going to answer Alex's question, and that's, how do you afford to travel full time and do you work? The simple answer is yes, I work, but not a lot of work. You see, I've recently started freelance video editing for different creators, from real estate to travel content, and I guess that keeps not only me busy but a little bit of money coming in. Now, that coupled with, well, the savings that I had from 4 years of full-time employment, that's how I'm funding this traveling lifestyle that I've got for now, for the next 4 or 5 months, and then of course from there on out we'll see how much we've got in the pot. I am of course starting to wonder how long I could make this last now, given that I have got an income coming in not only from the editing but also from YouTube. I'm now, well, not monetized yet, although I have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. I'm currently being reviewed by YouTube to make sure my content is advertiser friendly, but once that switch is on, I'm going to be earning money from these videos. My TikTok page earns me a little bit of money. I must stress, a very little bit of money. This month I did 1.6 million views on TikTok, and because of the lower RPM in Southeast Asia, I think I've earned $20 is $20. It's a couple of nights stay in a hostel. I cannot complain. To earn money doing something that I love and have as a hobby is a dream. Thank you, Alex, for the question, but moving on to Jade's question, we've got, how do you spend your spare time when not traveling and not creating content? Hello, I love tennis. I absolutely love playing tennis, coaching tennis, playing tennis, doing everything tennis, even watching tennis. Of course, living near Wimbledon, I've always kind of been exposed to the sport, but it's only in the last 5 years or so I've really started to put the pedal down and take it very seriously, and I'm really enjoying competing in tournaments and playing in America. I'm having a great time in doing so. Other than that, I like seeing my friends and going to the gym, although you could probably never tell, and eating. I love eating, especially foods from different countries and cultures, my favourite being Vietnam. Jade has also asked, what is your favourite destination and why does it stand out to you? Jade, thank you for your question. I really appreciate it, and all your constant support as well. It is much appreciated. But my favourite country or favourite destination that I've travelled to so far, it would have to be Malaysia. The vast landscapes, the culture, the beaches, the people, everything about my trip to Malaysia was wonderful, and I'm actually going to be heading back to Malaysia in a couple of weeks' time, to Langkawi and Kuala Lumpur anyhow, before heading down under to Australia. Other destinations that stand out that I really enjoyed were Vietnam, the Philippines, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and you cannot go wrong with the Canary Islands. I absolutely love the Canary Islands. I felt like I kind of lost my voice while saying that, but the Canary Islands. I love the Canary Islands. Michael has asked, what is the most mental thing you've seen while traveling? Michael, I'd love to answer your question honestly, but unfortunately I think my channel would probably be, well, not taken down, but this video at very least would be censored. Look, you're traveling, you're backpacking, you're staying in hostels, you're meeting different people, different kind of characters from all around the world. Are being taken, alcohol is being consumed, people are doing things that they probably otherwise wouldn't do back home. At least I hope not Anyway, look, I'm going to keep it clean for this video's sake, but the most mental thing that I have seen so far, it has to be Vietnam and the traffic. The traffic in Vietnam, especially in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, is ridiculous. The fact of the matter is, in Vietnam, most people are driving motorcycles. So rather than driving just one car with 4 or 5 people in, there's 4 or 5 motorcycles on the road. And you can imagine, especially in the main cities, Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi, it is so ridiculously busy. And crossing the road, either direction, is a challenge. I've seen people coming off their bikes, I've seen people getting knocked into by bikes because of course there's just so many and so much going on. It is havoc, it is chaos. I've never seen anything like it, and for the sake of keeping this video very clean, that is the most mental, clean thing I've seen since travelling. That being said, I think now is a good time just to quickly say, if you are new around here and enjoying what you're seeing, then make sure to press that big red subscribe button. We've just reached 1,000 subscribers, hence for this video, and of course now the aim is 2,000 subscribers. I've got videos on this channel scheduled until November, and trust me on this, with the next 4 months I'm practically going to continue daily vlogging my entire journey around Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, all across Southeast Asia, visiting places that you haven't heard of before. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Anyhow, less selling and more talking about travel. Josh has asked, Josh Wood, very nice guy, thank you for all your support, has asked, what's your favourite economy seat you've ever flown? Great question, Josh. I appreciate it. You know, I love talking about aviation and airplanes and all things travel. My favourite economy product that I have flown, it has to be Virgin Atlantic. Now, I had the pleasure of flying from London to Los Angeles last year aboard the Virgin's A350 1000, and I sat in a seat which was, it was just two, there was 2 seats and absolutely tons of legroom. Even without the legroom and all that space, I'd have still enjoyed the fact the entertainment had so much to choose from. The food was amazing, the staff were lovely. The onboard service of Virgin Atlantic is amazing, and that's why I'm going to put that as my number 1. We've got a question from Steve, and he has asked, why are you travelling Southeast Asia? Similar to with Malaysia, the list that I have of reasons for Southeast Asia is vast. I have so many reasons for travelling Southeast Asia, and my expectations before coming here have more than certainly been met. The culture, the cuisine, the people, the weather, mainly the weather. I absolutely love the weather. Trust me on this, I enjoy the UK, I like living in the UK, but only between May and September. October, November, December, the list goes on. It's just such a depressing time to be alive and living in the UK. Apart from Christmas, a cosy cold Christmas is enjoyable, but outside of Christmas, yeah, look, I don't like it. I do not get along with the UK in winter time, and for as long as my money lasts, I'm going to be avoiding it at all costs. My friend from Tennis, Dom, has asked, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your journey? Now, Dom, thank you so much for your amazing question. I really appreciate it, but buckle up, we're about to get deep. If there's one thing that travelling alone has taught me so far, it's to stop worrying about what other people think. And to be honest with you, there's people watching me right now definitely judging the fact that I'm sat here in the middle of this abandoned hotel talking to a camera. You've got to stop thinking about what other people think of you. Start that vlog. Start talking to a camera. I've got an audience behind me right now watching, probably wondering, what on earth is this guy doing talking to a camera? But the reality is, that's just 2 people. I'd like to think this video will be seen more times than twice. I'm making this video to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. Now, if 1,000 people were stood around me right now watching, my tone and modulation would most certainly be different. I'd be a lot more nervous than I am with just 2 people watching, wondering what's going on. The reality is that they don't care. They don't care what I'm doing. They're going by their day and I'm going by my day. And the second that you start changing your mindset of what other people might think about what you're doing, or where you decide to go, or where, you know, you want to hang out with, 5 women, for example, like me last week, I hang out with 5 friends that I made from Sweden. I could see people looking at me wondering, what's my secret? But it's nothing like that. You know where I'm kind of going with this? You'd miss out on so much. I've never seen a successful businessman judge a startup. Like, I've never seen a successful artist judge a musician or someone that's learning to play music for that matter. The point is, if you're upsetting people doing something that you enjoy and not causing any harm in the process, you're probably doing something right. Alright, enough of the TED Talks, you've heard enough of that. We're going to move on to the next question. It's coming in from Pete. And Pete, thank you so much for all your support. And that question is, what home comforts do you miss while travelling? Now look, I think the easy answer here could be the food. I miss home, I miss my friends, and I miss my legs not itching because I'm first on the menu to all of the mosquitoes and sandflies here. Trust me on this, my legs have been itching so much, especially since being out here in Koh Rong, Cambodia. Sandflies are rife. And I'm going to be honest, and it is, again, getting quite deep, but the biggest home comfort that I'm missing the most has to be my family. My loved ones, my mum, my dad, my brother, my nan and granddad. Of course I'm missing them much more than I thought I would. You see, before I came out here solo travelling, the only kind of experience that I had of travelling was going to all-inclusive resorts with my friends for 1 week, for 2 weeks at a time. I never really had time to miss my family. I'd also been to summer camp in America, in Pennsylvania, for 2 or 3 months. But that's a bit different. When you're there with thousands of staff and kids and playing sport and different activities, it's hard to have a moment to miss your family. While you're out here on a beach that has practically no one on it, that's when it all goes quiet and you really get the chance to miss home. And I guess that's something else that I've learned, another lesson that I've learned while being out here in Southeast Asia, is to not take anything for granted, whether family, friends, food and drink, whatever that may be. It's another lesson that I've learned. We've got another aviation question from Ben, and he has asked, what airlines would you like to fly that you haven't yet flown? And that's quite an easy answer. All of the flag carriers that I haven't yet flown. Now, since I've been out here in Southeast Asia, I've tried Saudi, Philippine Airlines and Vietnam Airlines. I'd like to try out Malaysian, I'd like to try out Singapore Airlines, I'd also like to try out Qantas when I go down to Australia as well. Eddie has asked, what is your daily budget while travelling? Now Eddie, that's a great question, but to be honest, a very complicated answer. So I'm going to simplify it in quick fire form for you. It's hard to give like a daily budget because of course whether you do an activity or whether you're travelling from one place to another will greatly depend on how much a day costs. By far the biggest expense for travelling Southeast Asia is getting from one place to another, whether it's by plane or boat or bus. I always find that I spend much more on the days that I've moved from A to B. My week-to-week cost has definitely varied depending on destination. So the Philippines was by far the most expensive. Cambodia's coming in close in second, but Malaysia and Vietnam were definitely the cheapest, where I think I was spending no more than £150 a week. £150 divided by 7, so over the course of the week that's about £21 on average, and that's including flights and transport and food and drink and hostel costs or hotel costs and any activity that I decide to do in between. Having hung out with lots of people who drink and don't drink, those that do drink are all telling me the same thing, and that's that alcohol is by far their biggest expense while they're travelling. Now, depending on if you party compared to if you don't party, it's definitely something to factor in when considering costs, as those that do party definitely spend more than those who don't. David's asked a very good question, and that's, have you felt lonely while travelling? And if so, what have you done to combat that? Now look, solo travelling, it has its ups and downs, and to be honest, the majority of the downs are the loneliness. I've found that when I'm in a country that doesn't speak much English, like Vietnam, that definitely amplifies the loneliness. But countries like Cambodia and Malaysia especially, I've found it very easy to make friends, to connect with different groups of people from different countries. I particularly enjoy making friends with the locals, but also people from abroad as well, from people the UK, from Sweden, from Europe, from Australia, from New Zealand, from everywhere around the world. There are so many different groups of people from different places all across the world. What's the worst that's going to happen if you start a conversation? They're going to not say hello back, and that's a little bit awkward, but not the end of the world. sometimes people just want to be alone, and to be honest, I can definitely be that person as well, but I also enjoy getting to know people, to hear about where they've been and where they're from. And yeah, if you can have those kind of conversations, you'll have many of those while backpacking, especially in Asia. There you go, that is that. We're going to leave it there. That is the final question that I'm going to answer today. There were a few more, but I picked out the most relevant ones to my trip, to my journey. And yeah, I really hope that you've enjoyed getting to know a little bit about me, getting to know about my journey, where I'm going next, and well, I guess how I'm affording doing this whole traveling thing in the first place. The reason I make these videos is because not too long ago I was there in my bedroom watching the likes of Lost LeBlanc and Loz's Leisure, very good creators that are still making videos today on the platform. Go and check them out, I'll put them on the screen and below. Go and check out their videos, you certainly won't regret it. But that's why I'm making these videos, is because of them. And that's, well, of course, if I can inspire and motivate just like they did with me to go out and explore and see places that perhaps you've never heard of before, trust me, that is what I'm doing here. And if you want to, I guess, join the journey, you want to see where we're going, of course, currently out here in Cambodia, but I've got vlogs coming from the Philippines, from Malaysia, from Vietnam, Cambodia, and then of course from here I'm going back, well, I'm going to Thailand, then from Thailand to Malaysia, then Krabi and Kuala Lumpur, and then from there I'm going down to Australia, and then I'm going to be meeting up with some more friends in Indonesia. And then from there we'll probably have about a month left to kind of decide where we want to go next, where do we want to go back to. And to be honest with you, right now I'm seriously considering the Philippines. Anyhow, I've been Matt, you guys have been so kind for watching, and thank you once again for 1,000 subscribers. I seriously appreciate that. I'm out here at the moment in some abandoned hotel in Koh Rong, Somlian. As you can see, it's got not a very nice pool, to be honest. I won't be going in there. And yeah, I'll speak with some locals. They just said this shut down a little while ago and I could use it for this Q&A. So I'm here with permission, don't worry, I'm not trespassing, I'm not going to annoy anyone. They've told me that I could sit here. They even let me use a tripod as well. This isn't my tripod, it's a very broken tripod, but it did for today's video. Don't forget, I post on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 PM UK time, and I think my next video I'm going to be going whale shark diving in Oslo. And trust me on this, you do not want to miss out on that one. So I've been Matt, you guys have been so kind for watching once again, and I'll see you in my next video. See ya.